Welcome. You've got mail.
It's time to kick ass and chew bubble gum. And I'm all out of gum.
Okay, hello. We're back with episode 3.
It's hot as fuck in here right now.
It is. I'm sweating.
Yeah, we're having fun. So we're gonna keep going.
Yes, sir.
Rocket ship to the moon.
So last week we talked a bit about ourselves. We talked about what we wanted to gain from the podcast, where we see ourselves going with the podcast, where we see ourselves going in life. And then we went to Instagram this past week and asked our viewers for some questions or topics that they wanted us to speak about. So we're going to be doing that today.
And then we're also eventually gonna get into like some trending topics that are happening in the world. It's just a weird vibe. Very weird vibe.
Yeah, it's been a strange week just in general. Not with us, but definitely
For the celebrity
in the
group.
celebrity world, yeah. But by the time this comes out, everyone will already
Everybody,
know that.
yeah.
But
I mean, it's already a week old, but I
we
don't know.
love talking about drama, so we're going to do it anyway.
And I actually like follow a lot of these people and watch what they've been in and what they've done. So it's it's weird. It's weird.
Yes, sir. So, so like I said, last week we talked about ourselves, but one viewer wanted to know more in depth. I listened back to it and I realized that I'm terrible at talking about myself, because I realized when I was speaking about what I was like as a kid, it was specifically like 2 years of my life.
I probably did the same thing. No, I didn't listen. No. I haven't listened to any of the podcasts.
Yeah, we don't listen to our own podcast.
Courtney does all the editing
though,
so she has to listen to everything in case I say something that will hold me
and me too
criminally or get me in trouble, get me canceled.
Yeah. So they want to know more about what our families are like. So Mac, I'm gonna let you start this one.
Family. So I got a mom. I got a dad.
Wow.
I got a little brother.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Oh. So my parents separated when I was probably like 15, I think. My mom has been in a relationship ever since that, so I basically got like a stepdad too.
Oh, okay.
He's a really good guy. My dad is single. My brother, he's younger than me. I have my mom's boyfriend, my stepdad, I guess, has a daughter, so I have a stepsister.
Okay.
She's pretty kick-ass. She'll probably listen to this.
I didn't know you had a brother.
Really?
No.
Oh.
How old is he?
21.
My age.
What year were you born?
99.
I don't know. Unfortunately, we don't really have the best relationship.
Oh. No, I'm sorry.
It's not... I mean, he's a cool dude. We get along now that we're older, but... Yeah, it sucks.
I feel like a terrible person.
Yeah, that's a tough one. We don't... I mean, like, we're civil. We used to beat the shit out of each other. Well, I used to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
But we just never kind of clicked. I'm hoping that we can eventually. Like, I love him and he's good shit, but we just, different hobbies. The 5-year age gap. So I guess he'd be 22.
Okay.
That was always tough, but this is getting super deep. Get it out.
Jesus, I'm so sorry.
But I mean, we just, I'd do anything for him. We're just not that close. Hopefully he's supposed to move down to the island in August, I believe, or maybe July. So maybe we'll be closer. I can hop on a ferry, vice versa.
Yeah.
I've never really partied with my brother either. So I think that might be a good icebreaker.
I always find it weird hearing when siblings party with each other, though.
Yeah, but maybe me and him can do a tab of acid or something and then just go frolic through the forest. I'm just kidding, Mom.
Do some party favors.
I'm kidding.
Oh, I forgot.
I'm just kidding.
Very sorry.
Sort of. It might be fun. Who knows? But yeah, so I got a brother. Hopefully we can work on that relationship as we get older. Other than that, my family's pretty low key. Like my close family, I unfortunately also don't really have a good. I have a good relationship. I'd say we don't have a close extended family.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I see him once or twice every couple years. We don't really talk that often.
Yeah.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Growing up as we were younger, it was always kind of like we would have to go see them. Except I had one uncle that would always see us. He's, salt of the earth guy.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was kind of us always having to go see them. So they never really put in an effort to see me and my brother and my mom and dad and stuff like that. So that's always tough.
Yeah.
Other than that, no issues with my family. It would have been nicer if we were like part of the Kardashians or something. So maybe better luck next time. But no, they do a lot for me. I'm forever indebted to them.
Yeah.
They helped me buy a house when I was, 21, 22 years old. They helped me to this day. Yeah, I've got a good family. Can't complain.
Nice.
Yeah. How about you?
Well.
Or anything else? What other questions? What other dirt do you got to bring up?
I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I'm honestly, honest to God,
closet.
I'm so sorry. I never knew.
Know. It's all good. It's good to talk about things like that. I mean, I want to be transparent with everybody.
Yeah.
I would love to have a good relationship with my brother. I'm hoping we can build something. I'm probably not the easiest to get along with either. I'm trying. Take it day by day.
Yeah. I had to ask. I don't know. I never knew you had a brother. Or a stepsister, even. But that's interesting.
I guess I just don't really talk about myself that much.
Yeah.
I'm a better listener than I am a talker, I guess.
See, I'm a better listener than I am a talker, but then sometimes I'd find that I just have word vomit and I don't shut up.
Yeah, I guess I go through phases. Like, I mean, a lot of my friends know that they can, confide in me and talk to me about shit. So, and I try to help them out with situations. And I guess at being 27 or 26, however old I am right now.
28, 30, 32.
I've kind of done a lot and seen a lot.
You're like the Jesus of the group. You just know.
Of our friend group?
You just know.
A little bit, yeah. But it also, I mean, I'm older than a lot of my friends too.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. This is how it is. What about you? What about your family?
My family is super sweet sometimes. Yeah, my parents were both brought up very religious, very Christian. So, like, they brought me and my brothers up Christian, I guess. And from the beginning, I never really was, like, fully invested in, like, going to youth and, like, Bible studies, whatever. So I feel like I never really had a good relationship with my parents, especially my mom, growing up, just because I was so, like, I don't want to go to church, I don't want to do this, and she was like, no, like, I really think you should. So growing up, I didn't really have the best relationship with them. My dad was just kind of like...
You didn't ever, like, go out for a pack of cigarettes and just not come back, or what?
No.
Oh.
I remember one time that me and my brothers... So growing up, like I said, I did not have a good relationship with anyone in my family. But I remember one time that we had just gotten the PlayStation 3 when it had first come out for Christmas. And it was hooked up to our upstairs TV. And I was watching TV. And my brothers came and shut off the TV and turned on the PlayStation. And I was a demon. So I was like hitting them with the remote. I'm screaming, I'm scratching, I'm yelling. My dad comes home from work and he hears us from the bottom of the stairs yelling at each other. And he comes up, rips the PlayStation out of the TV, puts it in his truck, and he left.
Oh, fuck.
And he didn't come back for 2 hours.
So you guys were just stressing.
Well, my brothers were freaking out because they had just lost their PlayStation. I was freaking out because I got grounded. But I don't know why I brought that up. But yeah, I don't know. When I was growing up, I didn't have like a super close relationship with anyone in my family. But now, since moving back into my house, I feel like I have a really good relationship with my parents, especially.
Yeah, it gets easier once you get older.
Yeah.
Too.
And I think I moved out. I was moved out for like 9 months. And I think that I did a lot of growing up. I did a lot of internal growing up. I thought it was a downgrade, you know, like moving out, feeling like, yeah, I can do things on my own. And then moving back in, I felt like I was like, what am I doing with my life that I have to move back in? But I think it was probably a really good thing because now my relationship with my family's never been better. But yeah, I don't know. And then, yeah, my 2 brothers, I'm the middle of 3. So my youngest brother, I think, is 19 or 20. I don't really remember. 19. And then my oldest brother is 23.
Who's the one that drove us to the bar the other day?
Yeah.
Who?
Shout out Brett. Sorry, my older brother.
He? The older one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I have a dog, but I don't know. And same as you, we're not really close with our extended family at all.
I'm so jealous of people that I like see that have such close relationships with their cousins and stuff like that.
It'd be so much fun.
I think that would be like super cool.
Mm-hmm.
But
and we're all super close in age. Like on my dad's side, there's 4 cousins. One guy who's the same age as my youngest brother, I think. I'm so sorry. I don't remember because it's been so long. And then there's 3 sisters, and the youngest of the sisters is the same age as my youngest brother. The middle sister is just a year older than me, and then the oldest sister is the same age as my oldest brother. So we're all super close in age. But yeah, I don't think... The last time I saw them, we all met up downtown, and it was like the first time in like 6 years. And then on my mom's side, every relative on my mom's side lives in Calgary. So I see my grandparents who are separated like once a year, once every 2 years. And I don't think I've seen my cousins since one of my uncle's first weddings.
lucky.
Anyway, yeah, so my family is pretty similar to Max. Yeah, we don't see any of our extended family. Like, we consider my neighbor one of our closest extended family members.
Yeah, it's weird
right?
like that. Like, your friends just turn into like your family and stuff like that.
We've lived next to him since we first moved in 12 years ago. And he's just been like the uncle. He's at all of our birthdays, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Like, he's around all the time.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I rambled on about my family. So.
What were you like as a teenager?
Very early teens, like 13, 14, 15. I was very shy and I wasn't outgoing. I was not a homebody, but I definitely did not like people and crowds of people. And then, yeah, mid-teens, I started to open up more, I guess you could say. And late teens, I don't think I was a party animal, but I definitely think I was very rebellious. I snuck out all the time. Pretty typical of teenager stuff, I think. I did pretty typical teenager stuff. You know, sneaking out of the house, going to parties, not telling my parents where I was. I skipped school all the time. Yeah, I don't know. I think once I got to my later teens, I started just enjoying my time more than impressing people, and more like I didn't really care as much. Definitely fucking changed a lot.
Yeah, no doubt.
What about you?
Yeah, I guess I was kind of similar, sort of. I don't know. I don't really remember much of my younger years. I don't.
Because it was so long ago.
Funny. Like, I don't know. I was just your typical hockey jackass, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But I was pretty friendly with a lot of people throughout like high school and stuff like that. Like, I guess I wouldn't say I had a lot of friends, but I knew a lot of people.
Oh, I was the same.
And I wasn't afraid to be like, hey, what's up? Like, how's it going? And
Yeah.
just shoot the shit with them.
Yeah.
I didn't party much in high school at all, really. High school was kind of just like, you know, school, hockey. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of a bit of a, yeah, I wouldn't say closeted kid because my parents let me do whatever. I
Yeah.
just wasn't really into like partying because I was so focused on trying to play junior B hockey.
Wow.
I know. I knew I wasn't going anywhere with hockey, but I just, that's all I really knew.
Yeah.
So it was mostly that. And then, late teens is when I kind of fell off the rails.
I feel like that's when everybody does.
I was 17, 18 years old, my first year playing junior hockey, and I went in with, I didn't really know too much about the world. Let me tell you that. And my 17, 18-year-old, when I played there, I saw a lot of shit. I witnessed a lot of stuff. I had a lot of fun. We partied a lot. Yeah, that was basically my 18, 19, 20s was just, play hockey, find somebody to buy us liquor, go over to, everybody knows this place who knows me that's listening to this podcast. We would go over to the Patterson's basement. Shout out Colleen Patterson for having 20-something hockey players in her damn basement.
Colleen.
There was, the epic parties that happened in Chase were something else. I mean, some of the stuff, yeah. So 99% of the stuff I cannot talk about on the podcast. Shout out to the Pattersons for having a party house for us when I was 18, 19, and 20. Amen. And even when we went back there when I was like 23, 24 for an alumni game, we ended up back in the basement.
Nice.
Yeah, that's about it. My teens. Oh, I was a complete asshole to my parents.
Yeah, so was I.
Like, ruthless.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I was threatened, I mean,
to get kicked out.
To be honest, all growing up, they were like, I would always threaten, I'm going to call child services. And their comeback would be, I'll dial the number for you. Like, I was just such a cocksucker to both my parents.
I feel like everyone goes through that, like, 18, 19 years old, you become that. Because when I was 18, my parents had threatened to kick me out multiple times because I was a bitch to them. And now my brother's 19, and no offense, but he's a bit of a dick.
I was like that since I was like probably 8 years old. But I mean, so I moved out when I was still 17 when I moved out to play junior hockey because my birthday was so late. And I'd only moved back to my parents' house in the summer. So like 3 months from then. And other than that, I think I completely moved out when I was 21. Dumbest mistake I've ever made. Dumbest. I'm still paying for that mistake right now. Yeah. Because, I mean, I see a lot of people I know that, if I could redo it, I'd stay at my parents' house until they kick me out. Right?
See, but when you're in the moment, you don't want to, because I don't want to be at my parents' house any longer.
No. Well, especially because I went from having billets where they could care less what we did. And my billets were salt of the earth, the best people. It was just her birthday the other day. Shout out Jan. She probably has no idea what a podcast is. But she put up with my shit for 2 years and some wild roommates over those 2 years. But it was a good time. And then I moved back in with my dad for a few months, but it was kind of not like he was on my ass, but I just wanted my own thing.
Right.
So I rented a house, and then I moved to Kitimat and lived with my mom for a bit. Then we rented a house. I rented a house, and then I bought a house. And fast forward X amount of years, I'm living in a 1-bedroom apartment in the fucking ghetto.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically, I was a shithead as a teenager.
Have you ever been in trouble with the law?
Sort of, I guess. When I was like 15, a bunch of us thought it would be a good idea to have a team building event at my place, which I lived on the golf course. And then somebody was like, hey, I work at the golf course. I know where they keep the golf carts. Let's go put them in neutral and rip them down a hill. So we went and did that. And then funny story is I was trying to rally everybody together, and I played this prank. I was like, the cops know everything. The cops are here, blah, blah, blah. And everybody came running back, and I was like, fuck you guys. Well, the next day I get a text message. The cops just left my house. I was like, haha, good one, dude.
Yeah.
Good one, dude. Get a knock on the door. It's a couple constables.
Constables.
So we end up getting in shit. We have to go down to the precinct. I don't know, the fucking police station. Yeah. In like a couple days. Well, in those couple days, I came down with the good old H1N1 virus. That's swine flu, right?
Swine flu, yeah.
Yeah. So I got swine flu.
Yeah.
I couldn't go to that meeting. Whatever. Then we find out we have to do community service. So we go and we do community service for all about an hour and a half or something like that, because this guy at the golf course, oh, hang on, another story. This guy at the golf course was like threatening our lives. So me being the little shithead I am, I think I called or texted my dad and I was like, hey, what the fuck is this?
Oh my God.
Next thing you know, we don't have to go back the second day. But that guy at the golf course, fast forward 3 years, we're playing in Revelstoke. I'm playing against the Revelstoke Grizzlies. And I hear this guy yell my name multiple times. Like, okay, whatever. Like, he's calling me Mac. I don't know. You know, he's another coach. I knew a couple guys on Revelstoke, but whatever. He's calling me Mac. And then he said something. I forget what he said, but it kind of clued in. And then after the game, I looked online to see who their assistant coach was. Well, sure as shit, it was that guy.
No way.
Yeah, 100%.
No.
He was working at the golf course down there. I guess he actually was like the stepdad to some girl I went to high school with. I don't know. But yeah, that was wild. That's
Just
kind
a
of
mess of events.
yeah, that's kind of the only time I've really been in trouble with the law. My buddy Austin Hirano got pulled over on the highway in Kamloops one day. I was in the back seat. Russ Bus was in the front seat. He only had his N, so the cop made me get into the back of the cop car, and he drove me to a random gas station on the side of the highway and said, here you go, and just dropped me off there.
What the hell?
And took off. So my buddies just literally came and picked me up, and we went to the hockey shop in Kamloops. I got pulled over leaving the gym once.
Did you?
Yeah.
Recently? Like a year ago? 2 years
This
ago?
would have been like 2 years ago, a year ago. It smells like marijuana in your car. Yeah, I've got a joint in my backpack. Okay, step out of the car. They cuffed me on the side of the fucking road,
I
and they went
remember
through
that.
my car. And I'm sitting here thinking, oh my God, I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to lose my car. All for one joint.
Yeah.
There might have been two. Who cares? It was like 1 or 2 joints.
Oh my.
They literally searched my car, and I was like, hey, like, it's in the front pocket of the fucking backpack.
Yeah.
They searched through everything, don't find anything. Take the 2 joints, and that was it. They put me through all that stress and headache of being cuffed on the side of the road for 2 joints. And I guarantee you, once their shift ended,
They smoked
they
them.
sparked those guys up.
Ayo.
But other than that, that's kind of all I've been in trouble with the law. Speeding tickets,
But you've been in cuffs, so
yeah.
that's more than I can say for myself.
Yeah.
Actually, fun fact, my dad's friend is a police officer, and I've been dying to get him to put me in handcuffs and put me in the back of his car. Just my dad's like, why? And I'm like, well, do you want me to get arrested for real? And he's like, no. And I'm like, so I might as well get a fake experience.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. I haven't really been in trouble with the law so much. I've never been pulled over while driving. I've never been put in handcuffs. I've never had any of my stuff searched. And I don't think I've ever been at a party when the cops have shown up. But yeah. But one time, me and my friends at the time, I think there was, I don't know, I want to say like 5 or 6 of us, and we all went over to my friend's house, and we just went over to hang out, and then we were like, oh, let's drink. You know, it's just us, whatever. So funny story to start this off. We literally ordered a taxi. This was before Uber Eats or anything was a thing. We were like, can you send him to the liquor store? And can you get him to get us vodka? And we'll pay for the cab fare, a tip, and the bottle of vodka. So the cab driver came through. So we paid for a cab ride that none of us took. We paid for a tip and we paid for a bottle of vodka.
So
All for just 6 of us to hang out.
let me interrupt you real quick.
Okay.
So that is so funny. In Chase, the taxi company owns the Subway that is right beside a liquor store. I'm not even kidding
So
you.
you guys would do that
We
too?
would literally call and be like, can you bring us a bottle and
Yeah.
like a 6-inch cold cut combo? And yeah.
We were all so nervous to do it because all of us were underage, right? So we
Oh,
were
yeah,
all
that's
so
sketchy.
nervous. I'm pretty sure. We were so nervous. We were like, we can't. Like, he's literally going to call the cops. He's going to ask for ID. The guy didn't even care. He literally brought it to us. We gave him cash. It was that. So then we were all drinking, hanging out, whatever. And then my one friend was like, would you guys like to do some party favors?
Oh.
So me, him, and 2 of my other friends were like, yeah, why not? That night was a disaster. But so then, whatever, we met up with this guy. He gave us some lovely party favors. And we all,
By party favors, you mean like she's talking like balloons and streamers
yeah,
and like party hats? Mm-hmm. Maybe candles.
exactly, for everyone that's wondering. So yeah, we were walking around just a small town, and I think like it was either 2 or 3 times we had gotten like air quote pulled over. So the first time, my one friend was so out of it, he was puking on the sidewalk, and a cop had passed us and had flashed his lights and immediately turned around, and I was freaking out. I'm trying to like hide my face because my eyes are the size of the moon. I'm freaking out. We're underage. We've been drinking. It's like whatever, 10 or 11 or 12. I don't know. It was late at this point. And he pulls us over and he's like, what's going on here? And I'm freaking out. And then my one buddy was like, oh, like we were just at a friend's house drinking. We're trying to get him home. He's had too much because he's puking and whatever. They're like, okay, like just make sure you guys get home safe. So then we went to the gas station. A couple hours passed by. We were hanging out in a park doing whatever. I don't know. I'm sitting on the sidewalk with one of my friends and they have block watch. So I'm just sitting on the sidewalk with him. Like I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting there waiting to get a fucking sweater. And my friend comes out of his house. We walk not even to the end of the street, and a cop car with 2 cops flashed their lights at us because they were looking for us and pulled us over. And we're like, we got a phone call of a girl crying on the sidewalk. There's no one on the streets. And I was like, oh, I wasn't crying. I was just sitting with my friend. I was like freaking out. And then they took all of our information, and I was freaking out at this point because I'm like, if my parents find out, if they call my family, I'm dead, because my parents didn't even know where I was. I told them I was at a girlfriend's house and I was hanging out with 4 guys. That was that. And then ever since then, I don't think I've ever gotten like in trouble with the law. What a go.
Not yet.
No.
Just kidding. Do you
People
have
are
any
nasty, they don't
funny
call me.
childhood trauma?
I don't know. I feel like I have a pretty common one.
Yeah, what's that?
Clowns.
Yeah, clowns
But
suck.
not typical like a birthday party clown or a carnival clown. Well, I guess a carnival clown. I was at the Cloverdale Rodeo.
Shout out.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. I was at the Cloverdale Rodeo, the parade, and there was a clown that, you know, obviously it's a parade, there's gonna be clowns. He was walking up, we're sitting on the road, he's walking up the road, and he comes up to me and he's got a bucket and it's full of confetti, but I didn't know that, and he threw it at my face. So then there was confetti all over my face, and then when he pulled all the confetti off, he was like in my face, like, ooh. I don't know, when I was a little kid, so I was freaking out at the time. Obviously, I'm screaming and crying or whatever, and then ever since then, I hate them.
Yeah, I don't like clowns. To be honest, I don't remember a lot from my childhood.
I don't know if I have so much traumas, I just have like bad experiences.
Yeah, I think I had a relatively good trauma. I might have just burned through a few brain cells.
I watched my dog get hit by a garbage truck.
Shouldn't have been standing there, I guess.
And then I went face first down a slide in my backyard and bashed my face square into a post and like cut my forehead open.
I guess now I'll know if my mom actually listens to this podcast. When I was like 2 or 3, my grandma was babysitting me.
Oh, yeah?
And she pushed me down the stairs and I cracked my head open on the tile.
Terrible.
And I had to get staples in my forehead.
Oh, my God.
I'm totally fucking kidding, but every single time I see my mom, I bring that up. My grandma was just watching me and I fell down the stairs. I was like 2.
Oh, my God.
She didn't actually. But for me to get my mom going, I'm like, yeah, your mom pushed me down the stairs. Like, come on.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious.
That is the reason why I'm like this. No.
That's hilarious. I love that. Oh, my God. Yeah, I don't think I've had too many, like, traumatizing experiences that, like, follow me into my life.
Yeah.
Fear of clowns is very common, but I feel like I wouldn't be so scared of clowns if that hadn't happened. But that's also like, whatever. That's going to say you could eat a piece of food, not like it, and then now you don't like the food. It's not really traumatic, right?
That is true.
But I don't know.
That is true.
Mac, have you... Oh. Mac, what was the worst date you've ever been on?
I've been on a few. I won't get into a lot of detail on some of them, but 2 in particular, they just got out of a relationship, and literally all they talked about was their ex-boyfriend.
Ew.
Do I want to listen to that? No. Yeah, so just stuff like that. I remember I went to a bar once with a girl, and her ex-boyfriend showed up. That was awkward for me.
Oh, creepy.
One in particular I'm going to talk about, it wasn't really a date. It was... So a lot of my friends know the infamous Minnesota story.
Is this one the Walmart one?
No, this is not the Walmart one. No, this is a completely different one. It happened about a year ago. I'm not going to bring up particulars. I was in Minnesota for a certain reason. This night we had like a beach set up. We were at the Lake Minna something. I don't know. Beautiful place. So we had like this little corner with volleyball and free open bar. So I missed dinner this night. That's how many drinks I was drinking. Jesus. But at one point I got the bright idea to, there's a lot of older people around us, but there's a lot of young girls like mingling around.
Oh yeah.
So I got the bright idea to ID all the ladies that were walking into this patio bar. So I stood at the front, and if I thought you were cute, I would walk up and ask for ID. It literally worked every single time.
Wow.
Not even kidding. And then these one girls were cute. I think there was 3 or 4 of them at the time, and there was like 7 of us guys at one point. And so I ID'd them and brought them into our little group, and at one point I ordered 19 shots of Patron. Yes, holy shit. Anyways, the night is getting to the end. Me and another guy are wanting to smoke a little bit of the reefer.
Amen.
And I'm also really hammered at this point, so I kind of want to go home. The last Uber comes, and another guy, friend of mine, was like, "No, Mac, you are seeing this night through." I was like, okay. We end up getting into the vehicle with these women that we just met.
No.
An hour and a half, 2 hours ago. No. And we are driving to another town in Minnesota. Is Minnesota a state? I don't know. Another town. Yeah, so we get into her house, and at one point, it gets really weird. The night gets really weird. It is probably 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning at this point. I don't know where the fuck I am. I am with a guy that I met 3 days before from New York City. We're sitting there on the couch, and I hear this noise. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I hear this motorcycle rev. And I shit you not, it is straight out of a movie. I hear this motorcycle rev. Hear it keep revving right outside the sliding glass window, and I stand up, I'm going to go take a peek, and all of a sudden the sliding glass window opens. There's a motorcycle there. There's a guy standing there. He walks in. I'm like, hey, can I help you? Because I don't know who the fuck this guy is. Yeah. I'm also in these random girl's apartment.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Jesus
and
Christ.
He's like, I'm so-and-so's boyfriend. And I was like, oh. And he's like, who are you? And I was like, well, I thought I was her boyfriend tonight. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't actually say that, but I was like,
oh my God, you
I don't know. I don't know how I played this off, I don't really remember. But anyways, I start panicking because I'm with this guy from New York. This girl's boyfriend just showed up.
Yeah.
I don't know if this guy's gonna like try to
Literally kill you.
do whatever. So I text, like, I'm pretty sure I text my mom. I send my mom. I am hammered at this point, absolutely hammered. I send my mom my location. I said, if I don't text you back by 12, this is where I am. I send a guy that I'm on this trip with my location. I say the same thing. I send a girl that I know. Shout out Haley. I send her my location and I say, if I don't text you by 12, I'm fucking dead.
Oh my God. What a way to freak people out.
So anyways, turns out this guy was just completely fucked. Like, he was hammered. He should not have been driving a motorcycle. So he was actually kind of chill and didn't try to start anything. But I was like,
literally thought you were going to die.
Call me an Uber. I need to get home
Yeah.
to my hotel. I got to be up at 6 o'clock. It's
Jesus.
2. But this guy was like, oh, let's go downtown. Let's go clubbing. Let's get some cocaine. And I'm like, let's get this guy out of here. Anyways, so that's kind of like a weird story. Other than that, worst dates, I have a lot of them. That's why I'm probably still single. But
Do you
that's
ever think that maybe you're the problem then?
100% of the problem. But get with it or get left behind. Yeah, that's the infamous Minnesota story. Courtney brought up the infamous Walmart story. That will eventually be told.
Yeah, that was a good one.
To some extent, not 100% because but we will also be having somebody who was a part of that infamous Walmart story join the podcast. I already talked to him. He is 100% down. But yeah, the Walmart story will be told
I'm excited for
one day,
it.
maybe like episode 50.
No.
We'll see. We'll figure it out. But what about you? What's your worst date? Courtney was a little player back in the day. So
Oh my God, I was. Yeah. No, I think collectively, this is so embarrassing, but I think collectively I've been on maybe like 3 or 4 official dates. I don't know. Most of the guys I had things for would never take me out on a date. It was more just like a, oh yeah, like we're hanging out kind of thing.
on Netflix and chill.
No. More like smoke before school and whatever, you know. Like dumb shit like that. Or it was just like little hangouts, you know. And most of the time the guys that I actually would talk to longer than a week were like from my school, like my friends. So I downloaded Tinder just for fun, like just for shits and giggles. I never wanted to like actually meet up with people. I never really got too invested in conversations. It was just like whatever. There was this one guy, and every first date that I've ever been on has always been at Starbucks too, except for my boyfriend. He took me on like an actual date that wasn't Starbucks.
Oh, I remember that day.
So then whatever, I matched with this one guy and he was really into EDM. So then I was like, oh, it's a common interest between the two of us. So whatever, I just kept talking to him. And same thing, first time we met up, we went to Starbucks. It was super awkward. But I kept talking to him after that because we had both bought tickets to a New Year's rave. Yeah, so he had come Christmas shopping with me, for starters. So we went on a date. We kept talking after that. He came Christmas shopping with me because this was like December.
Oh, yeah.
I told you this. Yeah, so I went all the way out to Metrotown because he lives kind of in like Coquitlam, or lived in Coquitlam area. So I went out there. Yeah, we went Christmas shopping. It was kind of weird because I'm buying gifts for my family and this random dude that I met like a week before is coming with me. And then we had been talking. I was like, oh yeah, like I'm going to New Year's Eve. Are you? And he's like, oh, I'm going to my buddy's party, but yeah, I have a ticket. And I'm like, well, you should come. And I had gone to that rave with a bunch of some of my friends and like some other people that I went to school with. I'm waiting for this guy to show up. It's like 11 o'clock. It's like 11:30. It's like 11:45. He still hadn't showed up. And at this point, I was like, I don't give a fuck if this guy shows up. I don't even know why I'm still talking to him. I literally don't like him. I don't want anything to do with him. And then he messages me that he's like, oh, I'm here. I'm like, fuck. Well, now I have to go get him because I'd feel too bad if I literally just ghosted him and hung out with my friends. So then he shows up. It's like 10 minutes to 12. We're dancing, we're hanging out. It's awkward. I literally feel so uncomfortable. I'm like, get this fucking string bean off me. It was so bad. And then midnight hit. I'm not asking for much, but it's fucking New Year's and you're a dude. Like, just fucking lay one on me
Just fucking
and be
shove
done
you.
with it. And he
didn't?
wouldn't.
No.
No. Literally, a girl that I wasn't really friends with literally had to, I turned and faced him and I was just like looking at him. I'm like, okay. And he just kind of stood there and I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And she pushed us together and it was the worst kiss of my life. And after that, I literally did not want him anywhere near me and he was glued to my side.
Stage 5 clinger.
Yeah. And then the rave ended and there was exactly 8 of us. So then with him, it made 9, right? So we were able to get to the event in 2 cabs. And then we had a plan that we would leave in 2 cabs. And he came with us. He followed us out of the rave. And I kept telling my one friend, I was like, I don't want him to come with us. I don't want him coming back to the hotel. Because he kept asking. He's like, oh, what are you guys doing after this? And I was like, oh, I don't know. Probably just going to go to bed. I don't know. We went to a gas station. We called a cab. So he's like waiting with us at the gas station. And I'm talking to my one guy friend. And I was like, I don't want him here. He was like, fuck off. Like, there's nothing I'm going to do about it. It's your problem. And we get a cab. And he hops in the cab. And I specifically remember looking out of the cab window into the gas station at my friends, like, fucking help me. Because I didn't want this guy to come back to the hotel. So he follows us all the way to the hotel. And the cab driver's like, oh, is this the last stop? And I was like, no, there's one more. And I left him in the cab and I fucking ran into the hotel. Literally, I ghosted him after that. And I felt so bad, but it had gone too far.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I was a total bitch, but...
I had a girl ghost me once to have a kid.
Was she already pregnant when she ghosted you, or did she ghost you and then
I don't know.
start the process?
I don't know. She told me that she was single. Her ex-boyfriend followed me on Instagram, and then she's like, oh, you need to block him. So it's like, okay, whatever. Yeah, we're talking, things or whatever, and then she literally blocks me on everything.
Jesus.
Except for Snapchat. So I'm like, whatever. Peace. Like,
Yeah.
see you later. Like, fast forward 9 months. Her Snap story is a picture of her newborn kid.
Jesus Christ. Did you have to do
I never slept with her.
paternity test?
No, I never slept. I never
sorry.
slept with this girl. She was from down here. I knew her. I think I met her when I was playing junior hockey, so I'd known her for a few years. But yeah, shout out to her.
Hey.
At least, she could have just told me, "Hey, yo, I'm still with my boyfriend and I'm pregnant."
Jesus Christ.
Instead of breaking my fucking heart. No,
I wonder if
kidding.
he knows. Or if he knows about you.
Oh, I would 100%. Why else would he follow me on Instagram? Yeah, I think
Raising the kid.
She had a kid before that with him. So they could be married.
Who knows?
I've had this happen.
Maybe she was a swinger.
Before. Anyways, that's enough about my awful love life. Another question we got was, talking about the start of the podcast. Was it weird talking into the mic?
Oh, yeah.
What does the setting of it look like? So the setting of this podcast is literally in the living room of my 1-bedroom, 600 square feet apartment. Mm-hmm. Right now, I have an air conditioner, but we can't have it on because it's so damn loud. So we are sweating buckets.
We're sitting at a beer pong table.
Yeah.
In lawn chairs.
From my office, which is also the kitchen. I just took the kitchen table out.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So it looks rough.
My plan is, like I think we talked about before, I want a 2-bedroom place. The second bedroom, I'm going to actually deck out into a cool little podcast studio.
It's weird starting.
Yeah, it is a little bit. I mean, talking into a mic, is that weird? So I tried to get a YouTube MMA show off the ground. But for me, it was just way too much work. So I interviewed a couple fighters and talked, and it's easy for me Because to be honest, I don't care if you're listening or not. Like, if you like me or not,
Yeah.
you're listening. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. So talking into a mic is easy for me, I guess, because also I'm not in front of people. If I was in front of people, it might be a little different story.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be a stand-up comedian, so who knows?
I think it's pretty normal for me to talk into the mic, but at the same time, it's pretty weird. The first time we filmed, it was very weird for me because I was like, I don't know if I'm having a conversation with the microphone in my computer or if I'm having a conversation with Mac.
Yeah.
And then the second time we recorded was a lot easier. And then our second episode was like a breeze.
Yeah.
But
it's just like,
sometimes it like hearing back in like post, it makes me think like, do I really actually talk that much? And like, do I really watch what I say? Because clearly not.
that's why I haven't listened. I'm scared too.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's easy now. We're pretty good friends too. That this is
Yeah.
basically a random Thursday night conversation with
Yeah,
microphone.
we
in front of
literally
us.
just hang out for 2 hours and
Yeah.
shoot the shit. But now it's a lot easier. And setting it up, like, I think we mentioned it in the first episode, but we had just been talking about it for a while and then just setting it up, like, Mac already had a mic. I just went on Amazon, bought a mic, and then you just figure it out on your computer and press record and go from there. So
We have like a little outline. Eventually, it'll be like pretty straightforward, pretty, the same thing. So we're not. Right now, we're kind of all over the place.
yeah,
We're learning
it's
as we
gotten
go.
better.
Yeah, we're learning as we go. And then also once like reality shows come back too, we'll probably have bonus episodes of like recaps.
Yeah.
Like
we
the
love doing
Bachelor,
those.
Bachelorette. I used to play the Bachelor drinking game with my roommate when I played junior hockey. Half an hour in, we would be hammered.
Wasted.
So we'll do fun
Sometimes
things
I
like
wish
that.
we did that when we would do it at
Yeah, except I
East
have to.
House, but
I'm a pussy and I have to get up early for work the next
well,
morning.
also, yeah, it also sucks, but
Um, Do we actually have sponsors?
no.
Not yet.
But if you want to be one, please DM us.
Yeah, I mean, we are brand spanking new. This is
Yeah.
not some caller daddy shit where we have 3 episodes and we get picked up by Barstool. Hey, that would be dope, but it's
Dave
not gonna.
Portnoy, please.
It's not gonna happen. Yeah. Anyways, moving on. That's it for questions. We kind of went on for a bit. Yeah. So moving on to trending topics in the world. Last week.
When this is released, it'll be
Yeah, so
It'll be
within
like
the
a week
last
and a
couple
half, 2
weeks,
weeks old,
people
but-
are getting canceled left, right, and center. First, we have Chris D'Elia. Funny guy.
I loved his comedy.
Yeah, like super funny guy. I had plans to, when I go to LA, I wanted to go
See
to
him.
Comedy Store to see
Yeah.
him. That will never happen.
Yep.
His career is done. Yeah, he's in his 40s and he was going after underage girls. There's really nothing, you can't even sugarcoat that.
No.
And the fact that he issued a statement and he didn't deny really anything
Yeah.
is pretty fucking weird. And he's been dropped by his managing company, his agency, and he's been dropped by everybody.
Yeah.
Even in like his best friend, Whitney Cummings, she threw him under the bus. Like, it's disgusting what he did. So there's DMs, screenshots of him sliding in to underage girls' DMs.
It is disgusting. And you watched season 2 of You.
Oh yeah, that's fucked.
So that
That's him.
yeah, a celebrity who hit on an underage girl. It was weird reading this stuff after pretty much events similar to that happened in the show. Like, it was his character.
Yeah, so you can't even really call this one cancel culture because it's just like you're a pervert. Yeah, it's just, yo, see ya. Bye, Felicia. Thanks for your couple comedy specials. Thanks for the one you filmed in Vancouver. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. I mean, fucking, who knows? Maybe more things will come out. This guy could face jail time. And then the other story is the cast of Riverdale.
The entire cast. I think it started with Cole Sprouse, but then I think that it went to most of the people in the cast.
So I know for sure that the whole thing started with Cole Sprouse. A woman came out and said that years back when they were at NYU at a party that Cole raped her.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, like those are pretty serious fucking allegations. You can't just be spitballing those. And after, a few hours, this woman was like, yeah, I just made it up. Like, what the fuck goes through your mind?
But that's messed up.
That you would fake something like that.
Like, it's just messed up on so many levels because now other people's lives could be at risk. What happens? Someone else gets assaulted. They speak up about it and everyone's like, oh, yeah, you're probably just kidding. They're never going to want to bring it up again.
Well, all this happened, good friend of the show, Justin Bieber. No, I'm just kidding. Justin Bieber got hit with this too.
Yeah, he came in with receipts.
Holy fuck, man. He had like 10 or 12 tweets. He had literal invoices from the hotel. He's like, hey, I was here. I wasn't at the hotel. I was at the restaurant. I was with Selena Gomez. Here's a photo that a paparazzi took. Here's me. Here's Selena. Here's blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of it for what's trending in the world right now.
It's just messed up. I feel like there's not a lot of good news.
No, it's kind of shitty. So before we end,
I feel like we always end our sessions on very harsh topics, and then we have to kind of backtrack and add in a little lighter one to make it not so depressing. But
yeah, okay, you want to lighten it up quickly before we end?
Yes, Matt, can you please start us up with the lighting of it? The lightening of it.
Okay, let's jump into an ATI question real quick to lighten the mood. Courtney, would you rather date a 9 with a really annoying voice or a 4 with the sexiest voice ever?
This is going to sound super shallow, but a 4 with the sexiest voice ever. I have a thing with annoying voices.
Yeah.
And annoying things in general. You could be the hottest person in the planet, but if I find one thing about you extremely annoying, it's a turn off. If that makes me an asshole, I'm an asshole, but you would be lying to yourself if you would pick the hot personality with an annoying voice.
Yeah.
Imagine a Calvin Klein model. You're dating a Calvin Klein model, but he sounds like SpongeBob. Just saying, I would.
Yeah, that would be something else.
I'd end it. But then imagine dating Patrick with a voice of like Tom Hiddleston. What about you?
Yeah, probably the same.
Yeah.
I've had a few 4s in my day. Just kidding.
No, you're not.
Last one. If you could pick a fake name, what would it be?
It depends. Part of me would want like a super exotic like porn star name.
I think I would pick something like Gustavo or something.
Because you totally look like a Gustavo.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. To close, starting from this episode, I'm going to hit the fam, our listeners, with a song of the week. This week, it is the new release of What's Poppin' by Jack Harlow, but the remix with DaBaby, Tory Lanez, and Lil Wayne. It slaps. Go listen to it. Yeah, that's my song. That's my jam. Do you have a song?
I don't know. I've been going through a phase again where I'm going through like throwback songs. So I've been listening to Summer by Calvin Harris.
I knew you were going to pick
religiously.
that.
2014 was a good year.
No, it's a good song. Back in the day. Episode 3, that's a wrap. Please follow our social media, Instagram at the He Said, She Said podcast, all one word. Twitter, He Said, She Said MC. Facebook and YouTube, the He Said, She Said podcast. Spaces in between the words. You guys know how to type. Please follow us. That's it. Over and out.
Peace.
That's what she said. That's what she said. That's what she said.
No, that's what he said.